What up, loved ones? What it do? Spotty Young right here. You know where I'm from. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new to this channel right here, just hit the subscribe button real quick. Give it a like if you think it's cool, if you think it's real, you know what I mean? Right now, I'm going to share my experience doing time with the Khmer and the Cambodians, and the VN, the Vietnamese, you know what I'm talking about? But before I get into all that, I want to do a little recap real quick, a little bit of history so you'll get a better understanding, you know what I'm talking about? Like, how the mindset was back in the days. When I was a little kid, little dumbass fucking gang banger and shit, thinking I was cool, shooting people, stabbing people. That's what I thought was cool during that time, you know. I was retarded. I had no idea. I had a lot of fucking self-hate. That's why I was violent towards everybody else. And that's what it was. I thought I was the shit. I thought I was hard, man. You know, shooting people. But come to find out, literally anybody could fucking do that, man. Literally any fucking dumbass little kid, retarded kid, can shoot anybody. That don't make them fucking hard, you know. But I found out later on down the line. But I had to fucking learn the hard way and got myself stuck in the fucking California system, man. But yeah, so being in a Filipino gang, I was from Jeff Rocks, and we was going at it with the Van Nuys ABZ. It wasn't no secret and shit, and it was a trip, man, because I used to kick it with them, and I used to go to Van Nuys and Valerio in their little projects, the Cambodian projects over there, and shit, I used to skate with them. I used to like I know all of them, man. I was kicking it with them until one day they started set tripping, which I didn't know about because I wasn't. I just came from the Philippines, you know. I was Fulton Middle School. I was 7th grade, but really I was supposed to be 6th grade. So, anywho, I found my peoples. I got into Jeff Rocks, and it came to the point where they were trying to look for us, and they were trying to kill us, shoot us on sight, and vice versa. That's what I would do with them also when I see them, and that's what was been happening, man, you know. And it was just a trip, because this ain't nothing like what you see in fucking the rap video. People trying to glamorize it, like, you know, everybody thinking they hard and shit because they smoke their little fucking cigarettes, calms their fucking nerves, and they're ready to shoot people, man. They're high on drugs. They're fucking doing everything, thinking they're cool. I could relate, man, because that's what I was. That was me back in the days when I was fucking young, gang banging in the streets, you know. So fast forward, I finally, luckily, I only caught 14 years, man, because a lot of the fucking people that was on my age during that time, they were catching life. They were catching 200 years, 400 years. So, you know, everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that. So when I caught my time, I got myself stuck in the system. I was in Silmar Juvenile Hall. I was still gang banging, man. I was 15, man. I was still gang banging, and my mindset was, whatever my street enemy was, that was my enemy. And there was a Khmer homie right there, man, from Van Nuys ABZ in Silmar, Uniz. We was in Uniz, and shit, I don't know. I don't know how they feel about me, or how I feel about them, because in the streets they were trying to kill me, and we were trying to kill each other pretty much, man. Because I wasn't playing around. They weren't playing around. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody really fighting in the streets, man. Everybody was shooting up everybody in the streets. So I saw him right there in fucking Silmar, and I thought to myself, I better take off and rush this fool before he rushes me, because I don't trust him, because I don't even know him, even though he was Asian. And I rushed him, man. I rushed old boy. I believe it's Khmer, Cambodian, because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Usually the Khmer homies, the Cambodians, they're kind of like more dark skin and shit. And then the Vietnamese, they're more light skin for some reason. That's just how I noticed. That's what I noticed, you know, according from my observation. So that's why I came up with the old boy from ABZ was Cambodian. He was dark skinned, but he was popular, man, because people know about him. My homeboy Jumper, he knows about him in the streets. They were in the same high school or something like that. So I rushed him. I rushed the ABZ guy. Uh, and then I went to the hole, went up to the hole, and then they put me on the other side of Unit because there's two sides in Unit and Silmar. This was back in 2003. And then it was a trip because a couple of weeks later, we had a court date. I used to go to San Fernando Court. That's where I was. That was my court place that I used to go to. And if you get charged as an adult, as a juvenile like us, when we go to the bus, they put us in that little cage where they don't mix us with the rest of the adult people because we were still technically juveniles. So we kick it in on that cage, and it just so happens that me and the guy that I rushed from ABZ, we ended up having the same fucking court date and shit, right? So it was weird. So we got into that little cage right there where they put the juveniles because they don't mix us with the adults. We were sitting right next to each other, dog, and we told each other, like, for sure, man, when we get to the holding tank in San Fernando Court, we're going to get out and shit, you know? Because I know he's mad because I rushed him, so, you know, he wants to get his run back. He's mad, man. And me, I ain't got no option. I got to get down with him, you know, because that's just how it is. So we get to the holding tank, and then they take our cuffs off, our chains here in our stomach and shit. They take it off. We go in the holding tank. We're free. We're free of fucking chains. We get in there. Police close the door, and then I told the old boy, man, hey, hold on, homie. I mean, I didn't say homie though, but I said, hold on, man, I'm gonna take a piss real quick. And for some reason, he let me fucking take a piss, man. While I was taking a piss, he's waiting for me because we're supposed to get down. I'm looking back. He ain't rushing me. He ain't trying to dolphin me. So that's crazy because any fucking piece of shit motherfucker would have already been took off, and he didn't. So after I took a piss, washed my little fucking hands, I told him what's up. He said, hold on to him. I take a piss too. So I gave him the same fucking respect. So he took a piss, and then I waited for him. As soon as after he took a piss, he washed his little hands too. And we started getting down in the fucking holding tank. Me was getting down there for a long time, man. I don't want to talk about get into details like fucking who beat up who and shit like that because, you know, it's irrelevant. But we were doing the thing, we were getting down for a long time. And fucking police opened the little window to the holding tank and shit in San Fernando Court. He saw us fucking wrestling, getting down and shit. And then, what do you call this? So they opened up the door, and then we went our separate ways. He sat down on the other side, I sat down on the other side. And we're looking all fucked up and shit. The police like, hey, come here. And then, let me see your hands. What you guys doing, man? Nothing, man. So they looked at our fucking hands. And then, yeah. It was obvious that we got caught in the act. So what happened was they separated us, and ever since that day, all the juvenile kids that would go to the San Fernando court, they would fucking they'll never take the cuffs off all the way. They would leave one hand open, because a couple weeks later, a month later, old boy from ABZ, the one that I got down with twice, he went on the same court date with Jumper. And this time, they only left the cuffs on, but they only let go of one hand so that they could still take a shit or use the restroom with one hand. So him and Jumper, because we got caught, him and Jumper when they went to the same court day, they were getting down with one hand and shit. But they ended up chopping it up. I mean, come on, that's how it is, man. It's the gangbanging world, this shit. And that's what juvenile hall is. And then later on, I turned 8. I went to YA first, and then in YA, I didn't run into any Van Nuys or any Long Beach or anything like that. The Vietnamese, there was no Vietnamese in where I was at in the Y. Because in Stockton, I was in Y in Stockton. And in Stockton up north, there was more of a lot of other like Mongs and Miens and Lahu and Laos, homie. There wasn't no Vietnamese. But in the prison system, and when I went to CDC, That's where I met a lot of VN homies, VN and Khmer Cambodians. But for me, the deepest one, the one that I've seen so far, was the fucking Vietnamese, the VN, Duma, Duma homies and shit, man. Because I think they're communists, their country, they can't get deported back or else they will get killed. Same with Laos. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the Khmer homies, the Cambodians, on the other hand, they could get deported. They'll take them back. But the VN, the Vietnamese, they don't. So they just keep coming back out here in the streets. So anyways, in the prison system, the CDC, they were the deepest Asians that I know of, you know. So there it is. And then, so fast forward after that, I go to Tracy Reception, CDC. Like I mentioned before, man, there was a VN over there. We were in the yard, and he was just, like I said, he was just by himself. And then I got the all the Asians right here where we're kicking it, and everybody was gossiping, talking about him, like how come he's by himself, and it's like, oh, he kind of suspect. Some people, they got rumors. It was just rumors though that he was snitching, but there wasn't really no fucking proof or anything like that, you know. But long story short, I was bonding with the Cambodian homie from Stockton. I was bonding with him while we were fucking talking shit to the Vietnamese guy, you know. It was weird, man. And then I already said the story in my Tracy video and some other videos, but long story short, we were trying to get the Vietnamese guy, but when we asked him, he said there was no proof. He ain't no snitch. There's no proof that he is snitch. So and plus that was just like a little reception and shit. So fast forward, I go to motherfucking Pelican Bay. It's still what do you call this? It's a whole different world because Pelican Bay is mainline, man. This is one of the worst of the worst, where you know your life is at stake, man. There's no telling if you're gonna get out. And what do you call this? There's a lot of fucking homies over there, a lot of Asians, man. As I mentioned before, the ABZ from my mindset from the streets and from YA, when I go to the real prison, Pelican Bay, that shit don't even fucking count, man. You know, nobody was gangbanging over there because if I have a Soreño enemy, for example, and I take off on him, it ain't no just gonna be me and him. It's gonna be every fucking body jumping off. You know, it's a racial thing. It's a racial segregation thing. Police designed it that way, man, so that we're gonna be too busy being racist to one another while the police controls everything. It's, a lot of people don't see that, man. So anywho, yeah, as I mentioned on my Pelican Bay video, man, I got into it with my fucking, I got a youngster VN Vietnamese Ellie. I got into it with him, and he ended up going to another Vietnamese cell where they checked him and disciplined him, and then they put another Vietnamese on my cell, which is he's from San Jose also. You know, he got all day too, but I was cool with the second one. You know, I mean, he was nothing like the one that I got into it, because the one that I got into it, the JCAT one, he was a stressed out youngster, man. Like, as soon as program starts in the morning, that's when he'll sleep. And then when it's sleeping time at night, that's when he'll just wake up, you know. I mean, he would just do it on purpose. Anywho, I'm way better now that I got the other new VN Sally, because even though he got all day, even though he was stressed out, everybody's stressed out, he knows how to fucking communicate and fucking talk to motherfuckers. I mean, everybody got issues, man. Nobody perfect, but that the VN right there, the older cat, he he hooked me up, man. He blasted my fucking head right here. I had when I was 18. That's when I had put on my fucking J. The back of my head, I got a J. He did that shit because he be getting down also, and he did the west side right here too. West side, and then he put the on my stomach. It was just the outline. It wasn't colored in yet, but I was getting all the outlines. He put the Lakisa Lion #1 Jeff Rocks on my stomach, and then he put my mom's name right here on my thing. It was tanning over there, man. It was tanning over there in the cell, and working out too, disciplining. That's what I was. That's where my head was at, you know. And then finally, that was B yard, and then like a couple of years later, I went to A yard. When I was in the A yard, I was our neighbor was fucking VN from San Jose, man, and they were hella disciplined, militant, man. I would hear them. Like, cause they got jobs. Like I think they got jobs like at the clerk office or something, the law library, where they gotta be there like at 4 or 4:30. So they would wake up like around 3 a.m. I would hear them, man. They'd wake up every fucking day, man, 3 a.m. Sometimes I would hear them work out because in Pelican Bay, the doors is like cheese grater. There's like holes in the door so you can hear a lot of things from the inside the cell. I'll be hearing them work out like 3:30 a.m. You know, grunting and shit, you know, and then they'll take a bird bath shower by around 4 o'clock. Before 4 o'clock, they're done bird bathing. They already fucking picked up all the water from the floor with the towel and shit, finished everything, dressed up. Police cracked the door, open the door, straight go to work, man, every fucking day. They were hella disciplined, man, military style and shit. This is Pelican Bay 180 design. My celly was Amboy from the hood. And yeah, man, shit. They got some cool ass tats, dragon tats. Fucking, I learned a lot from them, man. They were fucking giving me good ass games in fucking chess. That's all we would do, chess, cards. Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot from them, man. I'm probably missing some stories, but I'm just kind of going through along so I can share my story about the VN. Sorry about that loud noise outside, you know. So fast forward, I'm gonna keep this going right now. Pelican Bay, Calipat, Inc. I want to use this as an example that when a fucking fraud, fake motherfucker ends up being together with a real one, what's gonna end up happening with time is the fraud, fucking fake motherfucker is gonna fucking get exposed. That shit always fucking happens, no matter what. Any fucking fraud people out there, you kick it with the real one long enough, you're gonna get exposed, you know. So consider that a fucking warning and shit. And I'm gonna use this as an example because there was 2 VNs over there. There's 2 Vietnamese in Calipat, and I was cool. I fuck with everybody, man. I talked to both of them. The other guy is one of those Catholic Vietnamese. He got a tattoo of Guadalupe, Virgin Mary, and then the other guy is it's like a war baby. He's like half French or something. But they're both Vietnamese. They're both cool, man. You know, they're both cool. But what ended up happening was the other guy ended up fucking locking it up, and they were told. We asked the VN, homie, what happened, dog? He said he didn't want to tell the whole story, but I know, you know, but I can't say everything. But he just said that he went to go to the fucking medical. He just walked out the building. He said he got to go to the medical emergency or whatever, and then he just never came back, man. Locked it up, you know. And this is what I mean about being exposed and shit, man. This just how it is, and I've seen a lot of this happen. But right now I'm talking about the Vietnamese and Cambodians, because sometimes they would have so much mix. Sometimes they would have a half Viet, half Cambodian, or sometimes half Cambodian, half Laos, or sometimes half Laos, half Thai, sometimes have half Thai, half Cambodian. It's just all kinds of mix. But you gotta choose one, who you're gonna ride with, which people. You could be Chinese and Vietnamese, but you're riding with the Chinese, or you could be Chinese or Vietnamese, but you're riding with the Vietnamese. So it's up to you. We got the homeboy Dopey from Bahala na Barkada, man. He was half Chamorro, half Romanian, but he was riding with the Pinoy. He probably, but he's half though. He loves both of them. He respects both of them, but he was from BNB. He's a Filipino guy in Bahala Barkada, and I don't know. He was riding Pinoy though, and sometimes it's just how it is. So there's so many mixed up, so many mixes. There's a lot of homies like that. Not everybody's 100% Pinoy or 100% Vietnamese or Cambodian. Not everybody's like that. So pushing forward, yeah. What I noticed also is that what do you call this? The Vietnamese, the Viet Congs, they seem their mindset seems to be more practical, more pragmatist thinking. And from the Khmer homies, they're different, man. Because the Khmer, I'm used to them, because the ones that I know from Long Beach, they were just gang banged out, man. Them the G homies and shit. And they got this thing going on the streets where the Southeast Asia, they would say, Southeast Asia in Long Beach, like 3 gangs clicked up together in one. Fucking S for the Southeast Asia, the S for the Suis, STC, and then EFCC for the E, and then the A for the ABZ. And in Long Beach, they're all together, all clicked up, versus TRG in Long Beach. TRG is also a Cambodian gang, as far as I'm concerned. But they would have almost everybody. They're so big, so deep. They're one of the biggest Asian gangs out there, man. And shout out to them. Shout out to Decker, man. Little Decker, R.I.P. Rest in peace. What do you call this? I was with Big Decker in Calipat and shit. And there's really a lot more to say, but I'm gonna keep this pushing, because I'm still gonna talk about the Thai, Lao, everybody. So I'm gonna continue that. Shout out to all the homies from Long Beach, Fresno, Rascals, Stockton, everybody, the whole California, man. So deep, man. So thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this episode right now. Say what you mean what you say, because real recognize real, homeboy. I'm out of here.